In an ultimate survival experiment, 100 Minecraft players were randomly scattered over 3 different tribes and dropped into a massive desert. These cursed wastelands include ancient temples, dangerous animals, and lots of hidden treasures. Will the tribes manage to work together to defeat the darkness and end the curse, or will they wage war amongst themselves and die? This is 100 players simulate desert civilizations in Minecraft. As soon as all 100 players spawned in their respective territories, they immediately started to gather their first resources, form groups, and explore the terrain.
Okay, boys, group up, group up, group up. Yeah, boys, to the trees, to the trees, to the trees, to the trees. Go, 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 go.
Hello, what's up?
Yo.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
Yo.
Do we shake hands? Run away from here.
Alright, go. Harvest some cactuses. We're gonna need the cactuses for later.
However, something strange was already occurring. We were only about 5 minutes into the event and people already started to die all around the map.
Yeah, there's quicksand. He fell in quicksand, he's dead, man. Yo, you're dead.
Well, some people were scavenging the deserts, looking for food and other resources, as well as clues on how to end the curse of the desert. Some of them got trapped in quicksand, of which patches could be found all around the wasteland, especially around structures.
Sophia, watch out! Sophia, you dumbass!
However, quicksand was not the only danger that people had to look out for, as some of the temples people found were trapped. Yeah, Dev really was lurking around every corner.
Bro, it was rigged. Oh my god, bro. I heard the TNT, bro.
Even though most structures were filled with traps, the loot that some lucky players found inside made overcoming these challenges entirely worth it. You see, diamonds are non-existent. Instead, people could find emerald tools within some of the dungeons, which were incredibly powerful and valuable.
Oh, I see something in this direction. Oh, there's already people there.
What is that?
It's a snake. Yo, watch out.
Aside from venomous snakes, the desert was infested with other wildlife such as toads, camels, vultures, and even armadillos. Although, most people somehow thought they were rats.
It's a rat.
It's a
rat
cute...
for steak.
No, that wasn't...
Steak.
You just
You get steak from
immediately
rats.
killed it. What?
Very big rat, I swear, TJ, the rat is dead.
Oh, a camel? What? Do you like wheat? No. Do you like bread? No. What about if I drop it to you?
Well, some people were still enjoying the animals. After about 30 minutes, the first groups finally started to form. Over at the southern island, most of the players decided to settle near one of their pre-built villages, which was located right next to an oasis.
We're rich and water.
We have a farm here and also we have a farm over there.
An oasis was the only place where people could find at least some seeds and fruits to help them survive the first stages of the event. However, because of the dry climate, crops grew incredibly slow, quickly making hunger a huge problem amongst all of the tribes.
Food. I need food. Feed me. Food.
We're getting there.
Because of this, over at the northern island, some groups of people had already gone rogue and left the player masses as there were too many mouths to feed. This led to a big problem, as these rogue groups started robbing people of their food and resources. As a result, many people on the North Island lived in fear and did not dare to leave their oasis.
Everyone's welcome at non-starvation. Don't worry about the bandits, guys. In non-starvation, you are safe and will be fed.
Lastly, we had the Eastern Island, which after a short amount of time already saw their first leader arise. As soon as the players got dropped in the desert, a player named Scott had immediately rallied some people to his cause and named himself King of the East.
Right, I just want to say, so die for Diego and its Phantom. Would you like to be friendly? You both seem like nice people with good intentions. I will allow you to tag along with us if you wanna join the gang.
This, however, was going to lead to some big problems in the future, as a lot of people on the Eastern Island were not aware of this and had already formed their own groups somewhere else.
Scott, we're over here. We're getting kelp. Dude,
Oh, you're getting kelp? Okay, we're getting kelp. We need people to help with the kelp.
After Scott and his men had destroyed their pre-built village for building materials, they decided to move to a tall mountain in the center of the island. In the meantime, it turned out that a lot of players were still not taking some of the dangers seriously.
What is that? What happened? What is that?
Yo, touch it, I dare you.
Oh, I'm jumping in it.
Ah!
Alright, snakes and dirt devils might not be the biggest issues, but even after more than 20 people had already died because of the quicksand, some people up north still messed around with it, which led to even more unnecessary deaths.
Hey, get me out! Get me out! Get out! Get out! Help! I have 3 hearts! It was a me! I have a heart! Help! Help!
Well, that felt mildly avoidable.
Is this the afterlife? Can I stay here? No.
As the weather was getting more intense, the temperature beneath the players' feet also started to increase. From the second phase onward, sand would now do damage to everyone that didn't wear any protection. Aside from the scorching sands, the food problem was also far from over. And with the crops still having difficulty growing, some people even turned to cannibalism to solve their food issue. My god. On the southern island, however, a few players had found a solution. Fishing and kelp. Seriously, a kelp farm?
I mean, you have better food?
No. A big chunk of the southern population had started to fish, while some other tribesmen collected kelp from the sea bottom to feed the fishermen while they were fishing.
See, this is the life. We're living a good life. We're fishing, it's calm, not for long, but it's calm.
On top of that, they also decided to hold a leader election. As you guys know, we're low on food. And we're low on people as well. What I want to do as leader is I want to get scouting parties out there, and we're gonna find every single Southerling and bring them here so they can join our cause, because together we'll be stronger.
My name is Ronnie DI. I would personally not go and scavenge for people. I would actually build up the farm first, so we have food for ourselves.
This election knew 2 candidates. A player named Ronin and me. While Ronin wanted to prioritize farming and rather wanted everyone to remain at the oasis, I wanted to look for the lost travelers in the desert instead, to avoid separate groups from forming on the island. But after a quick vote, the election ended in a draw.
Hey, wait, so if you die,
or what?
let's say we're doing
what are you
PvP
gonna do,
part, right?
TJ?
And you die.
Ronin, I don't like this
this
this hostile behavior of yours.
I'm not hostile. You tried me to be hostile.
I'm not being hostile. This stalemate immediately caused tensions within the oasis, as neither Ronin nor me was willing to step back from the position.
Why can't we all be brothers?
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like
Let's all
that.
be friends here.
Alright then, I have a proposition. How about we rule together?
Aye, brother. Now you
Rule
shake his
together?
hand, you kiss his forehead, you say
Joint
thank you, bro.
leadership.
We do a joint leadership.
How is it going to work? How is it going to work?
We discuss each decision that we make.
We can be 2 leaders, but you're going to be leader of one specific sphere, and I'm gonna be leader of some specific sphere.
So to end the tensions, we came to an agreement. Ronin would be responsible for everything happening within the oasis, including the food supply, the farms and building, while I would lead all of the expeditions outside of the oasis. But this was only going to be a temporary solution.
For everybody to understand, I'm going to be in a joint leadership with the Anticlimax. So I'm going to be leader of the farm, and TJ is going to be a leader of expedition.
The southern island turned out to not be the only island with tensions, as over on the eastern island, Scott started to expand his leadership.
I really don't like your attitude and you're making me nervous. I would like you to right now pledge your allegiance, be banished or be killed. We can band together, but I need you guys to respect each other, respect the boundaries, but more importantly, I need people to pledge their allegiance to the team before you come on the pyramid.
Forcing people that had not sworn their allegiance yet to bow down to him. And of course, some people did not agree to this.
Should we run away? Should we just run away? I don't feel safe here, come.
As a result, another player named Relic also named himself leader of the Eastern Tribe.
I don't like how they just claimed a king.
Bone Man says you should go see the king.
Dude, we don't give a about your king. I'm a wizard, dog.
At first, this was not going to cause any problems, as Relic and his group lived on literally the other side of the L. However, this was soon going to change. In the meantime up north, most of the northern tribesmen were still scattered. And with lots of robberies and murders still taking place across the desert, a player named Fuego Wave decided that it would be better to unify the northern island as soon as possible.
Hello, friends, family, and other northerners. We have come to collect you to take you. Guys, we have a different base that's bigger if you guys want to come with us.
After he had managed to assemble quite a big force, he decided to settle on the northernmost point of the island, as this in his eyes was the safest place.
Just keep going straight, and I'll wait for the rest. Yeah, just go keep straight. You go straight, you go straight. I'll wait for the rest. There's a tornado! Tornado! Watch out, tornado. Do not, no!
Because sadly, the island was still infested with gangs traversing the wastelands. One of the most notable of them being one led by a player named Framed, who were holding up at one of the ancient temples and that made it a habit to lure unknowing travelers into the quicksand, so they could subsequently get their loot off their corpses.
Oh
no!
This is how it ends. Yes, you robbed him of all his food and then made him jump in the sand.
He deserved it.
Oh,
Funny.
For now, Fuego decided to ignore this and instead keep everyone at the oasis together, so they could grow their community and prioritize the food supply.
Let's make this town all nice and beautiful like this guy. He knows what he's doing. He's a builder, alright. Dylan, that looks beautiful.
Back at the southern island, the tensions were clearly not saluted. While I was out in the desert with some of the elite warriors to look for lost souls, Ronin, accompanied by most of our tribe members, remained at the oasis. Within this time, the distrust between me and Ronin grew rapidly.
Balinkop, do you believe in me as a leader? Can I trust you? Okay, I'm gonna tell this only to you two. So somebody said that Anticlimax make his people against me, and he will try to kill me.
I'm gonna just share my honest opinion on the leadership thing right now. I don't trust Ronin, okay? I'm afraid that as soon as I return to the oasis, Ronin has set up a plan, and that it's gonna end up with me dying. And my distrust turned out to be just, as Ronin was staging a coup back at the oasis.
Who's here looking out for people? Not TJ. He's out there getting people killed. Me, personally, I don't intend on people getting hurt. I suggest the Southern Tribe only needs one leader.
In the case that we would return and something happens, would you be willing to protect me?
But what if they're thinking the same thing about us?
Even though the elite warriors were skeptical of my theory, they swore their loyalty to me in case something was going to happen. Except for one player named Tala.
You know I have your back all the time, yes? But this guy gave us food. In the beginning we were dying. I promised this guy I would protect him.
With Tala refusing to swear his loyalty and with the risk of him selling us out, we threw him into the quicksand and decided to stage it as an accident as soon as we would return to the oasis.
Hey, brother, why you throw me in, brothers? Hey, this is not funny, brother. This is not funny. What are you doing?
Let's set off, lads. We're gonna go find the temple. Bone Man, where's Bone Man? Is that the temple? Is that the temple in the distance? Okay. Yeah, guys, careful, careful, careful! Vitruck! Vitruck, take Vitruck out!
Scott's leadership at the Eastern Tribe became more and more difficult over time. You see, it wasn't only Scott or Relic that named themselves leader, as there even was a third group of people looking for power, which was led by a player named Mitsukage. And to make things even more intricate, even Scott's personal guard, Scrav, was staging a coup behind Scott's back. Yes, that's right. At this point, everyone just wanted to kill everyone. Even I myself couldn't follow it anymore. The Eastern Island was about to blow up. But then there was also another strange person. Bone Man.
Anyone have any bones? Yes. I got the entire set. Hey boys, how the farm doing up here? Cause I'm gonna starve. Monk Lord, hello, I am the Bone Man.
One of the Eastern tribesmen had made it a habit to collect bones and named himself Bone Man.
Bone Man has lived in these deserts before, and Bone Man knows! Bone Man has lived here before. Bone Man knows that is a threat. Bone Man knows that is a threat.
This might not seem like an issue at first, but one of Scott's men named OKGo had stolen some of Bone Man's bones to use them for bone meal for the farm. Something that Bone Man did not accept.
You idiots!
Bone Man wishes to see you suffer.
You idiots.
Bone Man knows. Bone Man knows what you did.
What did I do?
Shortly after this incident, Bone Man was captured and also thrown into the quicksand on the orders of Scott. Even though all these things were happening, Scott still had the largest following and remained in charge. Scraff did not make a move, and both Relic and Mitsukage did not have enough men to challenge Scott. Because of this, Relic sought help from Mitsukage's group.
Wait, what group are you guys part of?
We're part of our own group, my guy.
Oh, really?
Oh.
The two of them bonded and came up with a plan.
Do you want to kill the king?
Yeah.
Dude, we're gonna be a little mutiny.
Relic was going to give all of his men to Mitsukage, and Relic himself would pretend to swear loyalty to Scott, to then wait for the right moment to assassinate him.
Relic, would you be satisfied, like, if you were to be my right-hand man? If we put our differences aside and you'd be my right-hand man, would that be okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
With Scott accepting Relic's fake offer, his plan was going into the right direction. He now found himself within Scott's inner circle, and was ready to strike when the time was right. Up north, even though he had assembled most of the people, Fuego had not officially crowned himself as leader yet. As everything was going great at the Oasis, he did not see the importance of an election yet, and instead purely focused on building up their nation.
But like, we should have some form of democracy for like making choices, but honestly we don't have a whole lot of choices to make right now.
However, things would soon change, as some of the Northmen who were gathering building materials a few miles south of the Oasis went missing. It turned out that they were ambushed and killed by Framed and his men. After ignoring all of the rogues on the island, this was the final straw for Fuego. Fuego gathered a few of his strongest fighters and headed into the desert, to find Framed' group, capture them and bring them to justice. Fuego successfully managed to track them down. After killing a few of the thieves, Framed and his right-hand man surrendered, and were taken back to the Oasis to be executed the next day.
My fellow citizens of North, as you guys can see, we have two of our own behind us. Two beloved members originally, before they were caught killing people by pushing people into quicksand. Now, as you guys know, I do not tolerate betraying our teammates. I'm gonna kill these two because they f***ed up and killed, you know, Buckless and the rest of them. I don't know how you guys feel, but, you know, bye guys. Alright, see you guys.
After Fuego had brought justice to the northern tribe by executing Framed and his right-hand man, peace on the island was finally a fact. Fuego had somewhat turned himself into a hero, and was so loved amongst his people that he was finally chosen as the sole leader of the northern tribe. And during the following days, the northern island continued to prosper. Back on the southern tribe, me and the elite squad returned to the Oasis, where Ronin had set up a plan. Yo.
TJ.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we've returned, but as you can see, we didn't find anyone. We did lose a member, however.
Yeah, Tala.
Place in lava, careful.
He fell in quicksand. That's
Fell
all.
in quicksand?
sure
Just
about
him
that?
by himself.
He just ran
And
into
you
it.
didn't try to help him?
We couldn't. We can't get someone out of quicksand. You know that.
Were you just standing there watching, or do
Oh,
you?
calm down.
What
Just
happened
take
exactly? Tell me in details.
I want some more space between us, okay? Hold on. Tala died because of quicksand. We didn't do anything. I don't know what you have been setting up here, but I have a feeling that while I was gone, you've made yourself a little plan to take over, haven't you?
Tala was my man. He tried to defend me. He was the only one who tried to defend me against you, and now he's dead for some reason.
Listen up, Ronan. This is clearly not gonna work.
Yo, back away from him.
You go out, you kill Tala, and I'm the one who you blame.
Listen up, Ronan. Here's my final proposal. We're gonna leave now, and when the timer hits 20, we'll come back and we'll fight. And whoever wins gets to rule over the southern peninsula. As soon as we returned to the village, I was immediately confronted by Ronan and his men about the disappearance of Tala. After refusing to believe our words about Tala's death, the tensions once again rose rapidly, and accusations were thrown back and forth. In the end, the conclusion was that me and Ronan and our elite squads were going to fight over leadership, with whoever wins becoming the leader of the South. Me and my people left the oasis once again to prepare for what was going to become the Southern Civil War. Ronan thinks he can intimidate me. I told you guys, I told you.
We're gonna kill all of them.
He's just weak.
Well, in the east, Relic was still waiting for his moment. Scott came up with a plan. He wanted to see contact with the other two tribes, so he could ally with them to strengthen his position on the eastern island.
We've lost a lot of people. We are not winning on players. We need to band together. Put our differences aside. Band together. Let's go try and form an alliance with some of the other nations. Let's go to south because we have more people and try and form an alliance with the south. Let's try and team up with the south. Is everyone happy with that?
But before he could go into any more details, this happened.
If we try and propose an alliance to like south or north, it's not gonna turn out how you want it to.
Who's critting me? Bossy! Kill Bossy! Kill Bossy! He just crit me! He crit me twice! He tried to kill me twice!
It turned out that Mitsukage's patience was running thin, and instead of waiting for Relic to strike, he himself planned an assassination on Scott instead, and chose a player named Bossy to do the job. However, as Bossy tried to attack Scott, his guards intervened in time and took him out. Mitsukage's assassination attempt had failed, and Scott immediately blamed Relic. But by the time he himself could respond to the situation, Relic had already fled the scene. Scott immediately called a state of emergency and assembled all of his men, and demanded that if Relic would show his face again, he would be executed immediately, along with all of his followers. But in between all this conflict, somewhere on the southern island, a player named Naka was alone in the desert. While he had first lived with the rest of the people at the oasis, he decided to get rid of all the tensions and lived a secluded life on the other side of the island. In contrast to most other survivors, he was living the good life. Until at one point, he found an old scroll. Within the scroll, there was information on how the tribes could possibly end the curse that had devastated their lands. In order to succeed, the tribes would have to enter a realm which was known as the Forbidden Lands. This realm could only be entered via a rift which was known as the Breach, which could only be activated if the tribes had acquired 3 sacred artifacts. These artifacts could be found in the tombs of a sacred temple, of which each island has one, and as far as all the players knew, were still closed. Naka started to look for the sacred temple on his island, and after finding it, found out that the tomb of this temple had opened. With full confidence, he headed straight into the dark. But unbeknownst to him, by entering the temple, he triggered something sinister. Somewhere else on the island, after readying up, me and my men headed back to the oasis one last time, to fight with Ronin over dominion of the southern tribe.
Don't kill Teji, he's a prisoner.
Don't kill Ronin, I want him alive. Go guys, let's go, 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 go. Get him, get him, get him, get him.
Sorry.
Okay, come next on our side. Oh, low, 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 low.
Skeletons! Whoa, whoa, everybody stop fighting! Everybody stop fighting!
While Ronin and my men were fighting, cursed warriors from the Forbidden Lands had reached our oasis. Oh guys, whoa! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa!
Stop fighting, stop fighting! Kill the skeletons, kill the skeletons.
The two groups that were just fighting each other started to fight the undead instead, together as one.
They're coming, they're coming.
There's a huge horde.
More, go, go, go.
Need to defend the base.
TJ, defend the base.
Defend the base, we need to defend the weak, guys. After we had defeated the undead and realized that we had a common enemy, me and Ronin called for a truce. I think we have that there are more important matters now than our struggle for leadership.
It's the skeletons, it's mobs, and I think it's just building. I think we should thrive and make a better civilization than fighting with each other.
We will be much stronger if we fight together, all of us, everyone from the southern island together. We now knew what the real enemy was, and decided to rule the South together until the greater threat had been defeated. The South had finally been united and was at peace, and as a token of strength we even built a great pyramid next to the oasis. It turned out that the other tribes had also been attacked by the cursed warriors. After the attack, Fuego and his followers followed their tracks, which led back to their sacred temple, where they found out that also their tombs had opened.
Watch out for pressure plates. Alright, where are you? Oh, watch out behind you.
Oh, there's a gate here.
Oh, we're surrounded.
They headed inside and traversed the tunnels. But at the end of the maze, they stumbled upon a closed door. Knowing that something valuable must be behind that door, they tried to open it, but to no avail.
There's an open door right there. Acknowledge that it has a sign.
Fuego picked up the scroll that was laying in the room, and read that if they wanted to acquire this artifact, they would have to unite all of the 3 tribes, as the door would only open if the 3 tribe leaders would stand in front of it side by side and in peace. Fuego immediately commanded his men to head out and seek contact with the other 2 tribes. Down south, me and Ronin and some of our highest ranking members also headed for our sacred temple, where we found Naka. Naka had already entered the temple earlier and told us about what he had found, and on top of that, warned us about the darkness that was coming. Upon hearing this, we knew we didn't have a choice and headed into the temple. Be careful for traps. Be careful, there's a hole here. Good luck, Jakan. Oh!
You got this climax, okay?
Okay.
I'm still.
Be careful, Ronin, don't die.
Do you want to step up?
After managing to overcome all the traps without any casualties, we arrived at the main tomb. And just as the northern tribe, we also stumbled upon a closed door. In front of this door, there was a red floor. And according to the scroll that was laying next to it, someone had to stand on top of this floor to be judged by the gods, as only the ones true of heart could acquire this artifact. Immediately, a good friend of mine, which also was one of my highest ranking members, volunteered to be judged.
I can go.
Not me.
I'll try at least.
You will? I think that you're compassionate. Did he kill, steal, or anything?
Not from what you
didn't
didn't get that sword from
I
me.
never killed anyone. I never stealed from anyone. I think I'm pretty peaceful.
What a positive on
I
yours.
think I'm pretty. I never did bad.
Wait.
Wait, what? No, what?
Lost him.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so he wasn't favorable, I see. I'm not very compassionate. I'm going back in.
I think Narcos.
Not me.
I think Big Man is.
I think it's my time.
Now knowing that this wasn't a joke and that we could all die here, Naka stepped forward.
I swear I have not murdered anybody. I swear I've been a good boy this whole time. I have never shed somebody else's blood.
Oh my god, yes, it opened. It opened, Naka, turn around, turn
You're
around.
actually the chosen one.
Wait,
What's
don't
there?
go in. No,
What did you get?
What did you get?
Oh, damn. He got the artifact. Get away from the red platform, get away from the red platform. Naka turned out to be true of heart and had acquired the artifact of compassion. In the east, a group of players led by Screv also headed to their sacred temple on the orders of Scott, only to find out that this artifact could only be acquired by someone truly powerful. According to their scroll, 3 warriors would have to fight each other in a fair duel, to the death. Whoever would win could wield this artifact. And so, 3 warriors, Puznan, Fallen Eclipse and Screv himself, entered the pit, and fought to the death.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rumble!
Screv managed to win the duel and acquire the artifact of power. While this was happening, however, Relic had returned to Mitsukage and his people. He once again came up with a new plan to claim the eastern leadership. Relic had heard Scott's plan to ally with the other islands earlier, and as Scott and his men were still busy with the artifact, Relic proposed that he and his men would act first, and ally with the southern tribe before Scott could do so he would be seen as the leader of East by the other islands. But unbeknownst to them, Scott's spies were everywhere and had alerted Scott about Relic's intentions, and so both Scott and Relic headed for the southern island.
Who else is up there, like, from our original team? Like, how many of us are, like, from our original team is left?
But they were not the only ones, as Fuego and his men were also entering southern territory.
I'm worried, dude. I'm nervous. Like, I have this, like, weird feeling in my stomach, like, this is a very bad idea.
Hey, friends. Hey,
Hello,
hey.
friends.
Who's your leader?
As soon as me, Ronin and Naka returned from the sacred temple, Fuego had already reached our oasis, and quickly began to explain what he had encountered at their tomb.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The only reason we don't have an artifact yet is because, like, we need all 3 team leaders to be there in unison, in united peace, to get the last artifact.
But he did not get a chance to finish his story, as right at this moment, Relic and his men arrived at the oasis as well. Everyone was startled with Relic's arrival, but he quickly assured everyone that he came in peace, and identified himself as the leader of East.
Who's
Our leader, Relic. Yeah.
Relic's plan to ally with South and North did, however, run into some problems, as Scott and his men had also entered the southern territories, and arrived at the meeting just in time.
Okay, Fugo Wave. There's an insurrection happening right now. He has already said that he's happy to be my second in command. I believe they may have intentionally tried to run away from us to put distance between us so he could claim leadership. We had united the East, and Relic, you had accepted being my second in command. If there is a leaders meeting, I would happily go with you now.
You weren't here though,
No, because you intentionally ran away.
Scott immediately shut Relic down, telling me, Ronin and Fuego that he, and not Relic, was the leader of East. Although there was confusion about a lot of things, including the leadership issue between Scott and Relic, none of the tribes were hostile against each other. And thus the leaders of the tribes decided to head into the Great Pyramid to discuss the last artifact. To the disappointment of Relic, who now once again faded into the background.
Who is the undisputed leader of the South?
We're leading together.
We don't have one leader, we have two leaders.
There's one thing I'm concerned about, because are you truly the leader of East? Because I've been told that Relic is the leader of East.
I just don't understand the point of us arguing about who's the leader, who's not. The main talking and discussion should be why are we doing our truce?
Lads, if we're gonna band together, we need to do it now, because tensions are rising and we need to come to an agreement before something bad happens.
After a long talk between me, Ronin, Fuego and Scott, things finally started to take form. Many things were being discussed, such as the third artifact that still had to be acquired, the leadership issue at East, which ended with Scott being acknowledged as the true leader by the other tribes at the end, as well as why me and Ronin were leading south together. But as we were about to head for the third artifact, it turned out that Relic was not going to give up so easily.
Lads, keep me alive. It's Chris. Kill is Chris.
Scott had been assassinated.
No! TJ, get out of here.
Oh my god. Me, Ronin and Fuego just watched in shock at what just had happened after Scrav had also entered the building and killed the assassin. Relic and Mitsukage had sent another assassin into the pyramid to kill Scott. Scrav, who was Scott's own guard, saw this all happen, but instead of intervene, decided to let it play out first. It was just after Scott got killed that he took action and killed the assassin as an act of fake revenge.
So I guess he's not the leader, huh? Are we chill now, or like are we trying to kill each other?
During the following minutes, Scrav, who had waited for this moment the entire event, killed more of Relic's followers and demanded allegiance from all of Scott's men that were still alive, to which they gave in. Scrav had used Relic's assassination to his own advantage, to take the leadership over East himself, and thus his long-planned coup finally happened. As a response, Relic and Mitsukage immediately fled the scene, while Scrav named himself true leader of the Eastern Island, in front of the other tribe leaders. I want all Southerners to come together right now.
Hey, if we go to war, you're all dying. I'm telling you right now.
Me, Fuego and Ronin were shocked, but time was running out. So instead of making it a problem, we decided to accept Scrav's leadership for now and made peace, so we could head to the Northern Sacred Temple and acquire the third artifact. And so, the entire joint army headed north. We're here.
Yes!
Where's Fuego? Upon arriving at the temple, there was one final problem. There were supposed to be 3 leaders, but with me and Ronin ruling together, there were now 4. This meant that the door would not open until this issue had been resolved. Me and Ronin had set our differences aside. We had united the Southern Tribe and it was time to move on from our past. And thus, I stepped forward and declared my allegiance to Ronin and acknowledged him as the true leader of the South.
Put your weapons away,
Okay.
It's open!
The door opened and Fuego picked up the artifact of leadership. The 3 artifacts had been acquired, and it was now time to head to the Forbidden Lands to end the curse. The breach, however, wasn't going to be easily accessed, as it was hidden within what was once known as the Great Palace.
Oh my god.
That looks sick. How did we not see this?
The massive army that now consisted of members of all three tribes had arrived at the palace. But before they entered, Fuego, leader of the North, gave one final speech.
It's been not only 1 hour, but 4 hours in this event. And we've made it this far without absolutely slaughtering each other, regardless of the colors above our head. Now all we need to do is go through this temple and up some white old skeleton. And once we do that, we can get the out of here! Yeah, let's go!
The brave players entered the castle full of confidence, killing the few enemies inside, as well as looting all the barrels they could find. However, those that were running up front had forgotten about an old enemy that had killed many people back at the start. No! Oh my god! The quicksand had struck again, killing more than 10 of our men at the same time.
Help!
Guys, look out!
Somebody need boots! I need boots! I need boots!
But this did not stop the rest of the army, as there was still a curse to end.
Jump! Jump, boy! Use your legs! Jump like you mean it! It's like that! Jump, jump, jump!
This way?
This way, this way, this way, this way,
Yeah,
this way.
follow shot, yeah, follow shot.
This way.
Hey, this way, boys! Hey, come to me, this way! This way, this way, to me, hug left, hug left! That is a big boy jump! Can I hit that? Can I hit? I'm bad at parkour. I'm bad at parkour.
Just do two jumps like that.
I can't do 2 jumps. I don't know how to do parkour.
I can't do that either.
I'm insane! Let's go!
While most of the people were still finding their way through the tunnels of the palace, those that managed to get through all the traps found something horrible within the throne room. It was the Guardian of the Breach.
Oh god.
I am the true skeleton wizard!
Along each other in peace as one.
But the Guardian turned out to be no challenge to the brave and strong army of the three tribes, and was easily put down. The three artifact holders, Fuego, Screv and Naka, opened the door of the final tomb, with inside the breach to the Forbidden Lands. It was time to end the curse. Ronan, I need you to protect the portal, okay? I need you to protect the rift, okay? The breach. The breach cannot fall. If the breach falls, it's all over. While most of the southern tribe members stayed behind at the portal to protect the breach, the northern and eastern tribes have made it to what seemed to be some type of altar. According to the ancient scrolls, the players were supposed to face death itself, but at the altar there was nothing to be found. Until this happened. Lightning struck from all sides, and the Undying showed himself, along with his cursed army. It was now all or nothing. People started dying left and right, and to make things even worse, Relic had blended himself in with the rest of the army and decided to finish what he had started, and looked for Scrav on the battlefield to take the leadership over East for once and for all.
You know, there's only one leader to the Eastern Tribe, and that's not you.
You should have kept hiding, Relic.
You should have. You betrayed our people, and you betrayed Scott.
You're the one who killed him, not me. Let's finish this.
After Relic had managed to take down Scrav, he himself got shot by one of Scott's old followers. Everyone that had fought over the Eastern leadership had perished. The battle was not going well. Half of the army had already died and things were looking bad. I looked around me and I saw the chaos, and in the background the Undying killing people effortlessly. I thought to myself for a second, and I ran, in a straight line towards the Undying. Ronin and the remaining Southerners arrived at the battle and turned around the odds.
Blue, push forward! Fear no death, boys! Final push!
The three tribes fought as one, and they had defeated the Undying. But it didn't feel as a victory for most people, because as they looked around them, they saw all their fallen brothers. The survivors returned home, where after centuries, it was finally raining again. The curse had ended.